y'all, this is Jill Ciminillo with Capital One Auto Navigator. Today we have the 2026 Toyota Tacoma with us, and this is not just any Tacoma, this is the Trailhunter trim. So in this video, what we are going to do is we're going to give some general overview of the Tacoma, but we're going to dig specifically into the Trailhunter trim. Now the Tacoma is one of those mid-sized trucks that has a lot of configurable options. So you have a double cab, you have an extra cab, you have a 6-foot bed, you have a 5-foot bed, you have an automatic transmission, and this right here is the only truck, well, not this one specifically, but the Tacoma is the only truck that has still a manual transmission available. You have 4x2, 4x4, so you can build this truck pretty much any way that you want to. One of the really nice things about this trim is the fact that they have outfitted it with all of the things that you are going to need to take this overlanding and off-road situations. So in addition to this light bar, you have rigid fog lamps, you have a steel skid plate, and you have front red Toyota recovery hooks. And if you do decide to crawl underneath the vehicle, you've got to be sure to check out the Easter eggs under here, because there's a, I'm not even going to tell you what it is, you got to look. So coming around to the side, you have 33-inch tires, you have 18-inch wheels, and I love this bronze color. Okay, maybe you can't tell they're bronze because they're a little bit dirty, but trust me, they look really good. You've got extra cladding around the wheel wells in case rocks are going to kick up so you don't dent this amazing paint. You have the Trailhunter badging, you've got rock rails. So the reason why you have rock rails instead of running boards on this is to kind of, again, protect the truck from rocks. Now coming around here, this right here is not standard. This is about a $2,000 option. It's an ARB bed rack, and I personally love this feature, and I think every truck that is going to go off-road or overlanding should have something like this. I compete in the Rebelle Rally, and if I were outfitting this truck, I'd be hooking my Max tracks up to this molly board, and I'd have my shovels for recovery on the other side. While you look at the price of $65,000, and you might be like, it is a lot, but just think of the fact you're buying this truck already perfectly outfitted. Now moving to the back of the Trailhunter, I will point out this does have the towing technology package, so this specific vehicle right here can tow up to 6,000 pounds. You also have ARB red recovery hooks, you have an ARB rear bumper, and you have a full-size spare tire under here. And this right here is going to be a favorite feature. You've got the power tailgate that you can release with your elbow, your hand, whatever. But this, another fan favorite, say you're pulling something out of the bed and you have your hands full. Yeah, I like that. Now I will say you do have one other option for getting this tailgate up and down, and you can press the button and hold it on the key fob to get it to come down. Now moving into the bed of the Tacoma Trailhunter, you have a lot going on back here. You have bed lights, you have tie downs, and you have an air compressor over on this side that will air up your tires after some off-roading. Over here, you have a 2400 watt power outlet inverter that will actually power a mini Friggy. So that is great for camping and tailgating. Now in addition to being able to operate the tailgate with the key fob, there is another super secret spy trick on this key fob that you may not know about. This does have remote start even though it is not on here. You simply press the lock button once, twice, 3 times, and hold it. And eventually it'll start up. Now as we're getting ready to go inside the Tacoma Trailhunter, there is one thing that I want to point out that this vehicle does not have. Yeah, there is no grab handle here, so to get in the vehicle, I guess you grab the steering wheel? Okay, while this may not have a grab handle, there are 2 other really cool features that I want to talk about before we dig into the interior, and one of them is right here. You have this little guy that turns into a light, so you can pull this out and it can be a flashlight to get you to your tent, and then it's got little things that you can hang from the interior of your tent as a tent light. And I love the fact that it just easily pops right in and out of this space right here. And you have this removable JBL speaker that pops out of the dash. You can Bluetooth your phone to this baby and take your music with you. Now the base powertrain for the Toyota Tacoma is going to be a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it has 3 different power deliveries. So the base SR trim is going to deliver 228 horsepower, but as soon as you level up into any other trim with just the gas engine, you're looking at 278 horsepower. unless you equip this with a manual transmission. Then you are looking at 270 horsepower. But this is not that. In the Trailhunter, you get the iForce Max Hybrid Powertrain, and that means you have the 2.4-liter turbocharged engine paired with Toyota's hybrid system. Now, I should point out the idea behind this is not efficiency. This essentially replaces the old V6 engine. So this is more about power. It delivers 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. One of the things that I think Toyota does really well with the Tacoma is they customize the interior based on the trim. So what you see here in the Trailhunter is not what you'll see in the SR5 or the SR or the TRD Sport, and I really, really like that. So you do have the marbleized accent on the dash, you have the bumped out Toyota logo, you've got yellow stitching on the glove box, yellow stitching on the seats, and you have these great rubberized floor mats that are excellent if you're gonna go out and get a little dirty. Now, because the Trailhunter is one of the top tier trims, it literally has all the things on the inside as well. So some of the features that are here, you won't see in all of the models, but you do get a lot of features even in the base model. And that includes this 14-inch screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have the 360-degree around view camera. You have dual automatic climate controls, heated and ventilated seats, and you even have this rear camera mirror. Now, because this is a dedicated off-roader, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention at least a few of the off-road capable features that you have on the Trailhunter. So first off, I do want to point out you can customize the behind-the-wheel cluster to show your approach and departure angles, but probably more importantly, you want to know about the multi-train select. So in order to put it into 4 low, you pop this into neutral, and then you can switch this gear into 4 low, and then your multi-train select becomes available. You press the button and you have additional drive modes available, including sand, mud, and rock modes. Moving into the back seat of the Tacoma Trailhunter, I do have to point out this has the least amount of legroom of all of the mid-size trucks. So if you want something that goes off-road and is probably going to seat some adults in the back seat more comfortably, yeah, you should probably look at the Colorado ZR2 or the Ford Ranger Raptor. But that aside, this is a fairly decent back seat with a large window here, a lot of legroom, and fair to middling knee room. You do have USB-C charge ports back here in addition to an actual plug, but you don't have air vents, and this does not pop down. But what you do have is the ability to fold these seats flat. So there's a little tab right here, you pull that, then there is going to be a button on the side of the headrest that will allow you to pop this down. Then you can fold this flat, and the same thing happens to the passenger side seat, and that will allow you to stack boxes, gear, whatever you need in here on a essentially flat surface. Now, while I have previously taken the Trailhunter off-road, unfortunately, we are not doing that today. So let's just go for a drive. As we are moving into driving impressions, you can tell that this powertrain makes me happy. This hybrid engine combo is just really well done. 326 horsepower may not be as much as the Ranger Raptor, but it is more than the Colorado ZR2. I think this has plenty of power, plenty of pep, really good off-the-line acceleration, and I like it. And the fact that it's a hybrid means that even when the engine shuts down, when you come to a complete stop, you can move before the engine comes back on, and I like that. And it doesn't mute your HVAC. So on a hot day, you can still have air blowing even when your engine shuts down. Now, one thing I did not mention when I was doing my walk around is the fact that this has a snorkel. Because this is a dedicated off-road type vehicle, the snorkel protects the engine from dust and water when you are in dusty or waterboarding situations. So if you hear that whistle in the background, that is actually the snorkel, not the engine or any wind noise creeping into the cabin. Outside of the power, I do want to say that this suspension is a little bit bouncy, which maybe it's not so great when you're driving on pavement, but as soon as you go off-road, it kind of helps make things just a little bit more comfortable. Another thing I should mention is the fact that as a petite driver, this is probably not the best truck for me. You have a high belt line, and I have to say that my visibility out of the front is a little bit hindered. And I have found myself in tight situations kind of leaning up to be able to see over the hood. If you were looking for a mid-sized truck and you were on the smaller side of things, I would steer you toward the Ford Ranger because it has a kick-down window and just an overall lower belt line and better visibility. So if you were looking at the Trailhunter, you really only want to buy this vehicle if you are intending to go off-road. Overall seat comfort is really good, and the steering is pretty connected to the wheels, so it feels firm, and I feel like the truck maneuvers the way I want it to with just a little bit of a touch of the wheel. Outside of how the Tacoma drives, I have to say there's just a lot to like here. From the excellent technology, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, really cool Trailhunter features, the unique interior design. I like this truck. This is actually probably one of my favorite mid-size trucks, except for the whole, petite driver thing. At the end of the day, I think the mid-size truck segment is very competitive. But what that means is there is a truck for everyone out there. So it just really depends on what you're looking for. In terms of the Tacoma Trailhunter, this is going to be the guy that you buy if you want to go off-road and do a little overlanding.